Ted Liebman here, the voice of the OHL's Niagara Ice Dogs, and you're listening to OHL Overtime, an in-depth interview show highlighting the players, coaches, and broadcasters from around the Ontario Hockey League who make the league so great. Exclusively on the Armchair GM Sports Network. Now, here's your program host, Brandon Caputo.
Welcome back to another episode of OHL Overtime right here on the Armchair GM Sports Network. Proudly brought to you by Wild Bill's Auto Repair, helping customers stay safe and confident on the road in Niagara since 2012. In honor of the late William Robert Hunter, the proud show sponsor of OHL Overtime. Guys, make sure to follow the podcast on X at Armchair GM Pod. As well, you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok by searching Armchair GM's Network. We're available on whichever audio platform you like best. As well, we are here on YouTube on the video version of things. So guys, if you're enjoying the video versions of the podcast, make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, and smash that bell for all updates on video versions of our podcast that get released here on the network. On today's episode, we're going to be highlighting another team in the Ontario Hockey League. It will be with the Guelph Storm. Guelph Storm currently sit 5th place at the time of recording this in the Western Conference. A very solid team so far that has gone through not having two of their better players in the lineup this year. Matt Poitras, obviously, great start with the Boston Bruins, and they are keeping him up in the NHL, so that's a big hole to fill, and they've done a great job of that. And Cam Allen, who we'll talk to in the episode as well, missing half the year with his surgery, so they've been able to continue on here and still make positive strides forward and still looking like they're going to be a contending playoff team despite those two players not being in the lineup. Cam Allen will be back in the second half of the year, and we're going to talk to him today. We're going to talk to Cam Allen, 5th-round pick of the Washington Capitals, about his recovery process, what he's been doing off the ice, still around the team. So he'll give us some quality insight as almost a player coach, what he's seen from the Guelph Storm and some of his teammates, and just a good conversation with Cam. As well, we'll talk to Jett Luchanko, who has really taken a step in his NHL draft year up front for the Guelph Storm. Currently sits second on the team in points, so he's taken a big leap there in going into his draft year, and we'll get his insight on the team as well and some of the players that he's looking at to take a big step as we move forward here in the second half, some of those younger players that he'll highlight as well. And we also will start off today with assistant coach for the Guelph Storm, Daniel Fitzgerald, who we spoke with in the preseason. He talked up Jett Luchanko to watch out for him this year, and Fitzy doesn't want to take any credit for it, but we'll talk to him about the team's performance so far, what they're continuing to work on, and showcasing a little bit of Cam Allen and Jett Luchanko as well from the Guelph Storm assistant coach, Daniel Fitzgerald. So with that said, we're going to take you to that first interview today, and it is with the aforementioned assistant coach of the Guelph Storm, Daniel Fitzgerald. Joined by Guelph Storm assistant coach Daniel Fitzgerald. Daniel, good to see you once again. It's always great catching up. We're going to be showcasing the Guelph Storm on this episode today, so just want to highlight a few players. But first of all, you guys have a really good home record. The away record hasn't been that great so far, and you're hanging around the middle of the Western Conference there. So how have you and Chad Wiseman and the rest of the coaching staff, where your team is right now?
Yeah, obviously you go into every game expecting to win and wanting to win, and the fact of the matter is you're not going to win every single game that you suit up for. We like our club. We like our club a lot, but there are times when we can get away from who we are, and that leads to us potentially losing hockey games. There have been a few games that we've lost that we played really well. And that's just going to happen. You're going to play a great game, play a great 60 minutes or close to it, and come out empty-handed. And we've had a couple of those instances, but we're a resilient group, and we've done a really good job of bouncing back when we needed to. And we're a team that's looking to bounce back now from a couple of losses, and it's an exciting time to be part of the Guelph Storm, and there's a lot of great talent here and some great kids who are fighting to move us up the standings even further.
And you talked about the conditioning of this team. You guys want to be a puck possession team in the preseason when we talked to you last. Yeah. You guys got a heavy schedule coming up in November and December. So what's the mindset of the coaching as far as getting these guys, making sure they're in the shape that they're going to need for the grind, and the winter's coming? So making sure that they're ready for that, because obviously you've been there as a coach.
Yeah, I mean, we did go on the road last month up north and out east. Some of our more difficult travels already happened, so we're very fortunate with our schedule and our location. Geographically, we don't really have too much of a difficult road schedule. But having said that, our guys came into camp in shape. This is a group that's dedicated to their craft, and you can see that in the way that they prepared over the summer. And then Adam Martin, our strength coach, does such a fantastic job building further strength and maintaining what the guys have throughout the year. And I feel that we're a pretty physically fit team. So, the grind is a grind for everybody, and you just want to manage injuries and make sure that you're staying healthy. Unfortunately, we haven't had Cam Allen this year just yet. Quinn Beauchene, unfortunately, had an injury while he was playing at the U17s, captaining Team Red for Team Canada. But that's going to happen. Everyone's dealing with it. I just saw the news about Bo Akey, and Barry's got to deal with their own thing there. So, everybody's got to overcome injuries and adversity throughout the year, and we're no different. But so far, I think we've been lucky, and our fitness certainly helps.
And it's that next man up mentality, but the Guelph Storm seems like you guys have that quality depth. Obviously, not getting Poitras back, staying up with the Bruins, that's a big loss, but some of the guys have stepped up, and obviously you mentioned Cam Allen being out of the lineup. Talk about his presence still around the team, despite having the shoulder surgery and not going to be back until probably the new year. But just talk about Cam's presence. I know he wanted to have a big year, being a Washington Capitals draft pick, but how has his presence still been felt off the ice and mentoring some of those younger defensemen?
Yeah, Cam has an impact on our team every single day. He is one of the hardest working kids I've ever been around. If you see him walking around the halls today, the kid is still in peak physical condition. Maybe no one's in game shape when they're not playing games, but that kid works so hard. And he's working so hard to get back. He's very diligent with his rehab, and the guys see that. That rubs off on the younger players, even the older guys. How much Cam cares about getting right and getting healthy to be able to put this jersey on again and play with his brothers. And I have so much respect for Cam in the way that he does his work, and he's such a great personality to be around. And we're very fortunate to have him here in Guelph, and we're going to be even more fortunate when he's able to suit up for us.
Guelph Storm Assistant Coach Daniel Fitzgerald is with us. Jett Luchanko, not to be forgotten. Obviously, you talked him up in the preseason, and you were pretty much dead on about that. Obviously, leading your team in points right now, and has really been that catalyst up front. Without somebody like Matt Poitras coming back down from the Boston Bruins, and how is he kind of welcome taking on that role as the catalyst of the team right now? And what have you seen as he goes into his draft year, a big year for him in his development?
Yeah, don't give me any credit. All you need is eyeballs to realize that Jett Luchanko is a fantastic hockey player. And to couple that with being a fantastic kid, we have something really special here in Guelph with Jett. Obviously, with Poitras up with the Bruins, that's a lot of minutes for somebody or a number of guys to take the opportunity and snag up, and Jett's obviously taking advantage of that. The kid's so poised. He's obviously super fast, and as a 17-year-old, taking on very, very difficult matchups every single night. He's an impressive young man and a heck of a hockey player, and I think he's starting to rise on a lot of draft boards right now, and for good reason. The kid is he's special.
And lastly, you got us excited about Jett Luchanko, so you got to do it again. Who's a player that's the Guelph Storm that's really catching the eye of the coaching staff, and that fans should watch out for from Guelph, especially leading into the second half of the year?
Yeah, I'm going to put it on you. You can't talk about the Guelph Storm and not talk about Brandon Caputo. Our goaltender is one of the best in the league. He's been recognized as such as goaltender of the week. And, Brayden is a real student of the game. We walk into PK meetings and he already knows everything I'm going to say because he's done all the studying on his own. And he's a phenomenal goaltender in his athleticism, in the way that he thinks the game. I was talking to Rick Walmsley about him, and Walmer said something very interesting to me, that he doesn't he doesn't just play goal. He's not there to stop pucks. He defends the net. And he really cares about keeping goals out, but managing the game. His hands are elite. And he uses that to his advantage to be able to manage the game for us, get whistles when we need them. We take far less icings than we need to because of Braden. He's an exceptional goaltender, and more people need to be talking about him.
The Guelph Storm Assistant Coach Daniel Fitzgerald. Daniel, thanks so much for taking the time, giving great analysis again, and look forward to seeing the Guelph Storm in the second half, and appreciate you helping us highlight some of those key players for the team right now.
Yeah, anytime, Brandon. Happy to be on with you.
Niagara Golf Lounge features 2 state-of-the-art indoor golf simulators, allowing you to play some of the world's best courses all year round. The perfect place to indulge all season long. Don't worry about getting thirsty while you play around with your friends. Their fully stocked bar offers a wide selection of drinks, appetizers, and a variety of meals are also available to enjoy before, during, or after you play. Grab a seat next to the fire in their comfortable sports lounge. Didn't bring your clubs? No problem. They have partnered with TaylorMade to offer you the best rental clubs. You won't want to miss their exclusive NFL and NHL giveaways for the Buffalo Sabres and Buffalo Bills. Located in the Best Western Plus Karen Croft Hotel, 6400 Lundy's Lane in Niagara Falls. Visit NiagaraGolfVacations.com to learn more and to reserve your golf bay today. The Niagara Golf Lounge, Niagara's home for golf and sport all year round.
J&L Flooring is Niagara's specialty flooring and design company. They take great pride and provide elite customer service and support. With a beautiful showroom, great pricing, and a wide variety of truly unique products, J&L Flooring is your specialty flooring and decor boutique shop. All of their products are environmentally friendly and responsibly produced, so you can feel good about your flooring choices. Their goal is to build authentic relationships based on honesty and integrity that they foster with respect and authenticity. Offering a unique and wide range of quality products presented by a knowledgeable and patient team, they simplify the process to make your life easier and to make your home more beautiful. Visit them at 4424 Montrose Road in Niagara Falls or find out more at jnlflooring.com. If you think you can get a better deal anywhere else, you don't know Jack at J&L Flooring. Are you currently looking for work in the Niagara region? If so, you owe it to yourself to check out the services provided by the Niagara Employment Help Center located at 6100 Thoroldstone Road in Niagara Falls. Their many free services include a fully staffed resource area open to the public, resume and cover letter writing, local labor market information, job search strategies, assistance with clarifying employment, training and career goals, employment counseling and job search support, Better Jobs Ontario information and registration assistance, and you can check out their website at ehc.on.ca or call 905-358-0021 for more information. The Niagara Employment Help Center, helping people find work since 1983.
You're listening to the Armchair GM Sports Network, the Niagara region's best local source for North American sports podcasting coverage. By sports fans, for sports fans.
Welcome back to part 2 of today's OHL Overtime episode highlighting the Guelph Storm. Before the commercial break, we heard from Assistant Coach Daniel Fitzgerald, and now we're going to hear from defenseman Cam Allen, 5th-round pick of the Washington Capitals in this past draft. Cam has been out due to shoulder surgery for all of the season, actually. He had 25 points last year for the Guelph Storm, and he was originally a first-round pick of the team. A guy that is highly touted and again, a natural-born leader, was a leader for Team Canada at the Gretzky-Helenka Cup, and is a guy that looks the team will welcome back with open arms when he is finally able to play going into the new year. But some great insight from Campbell, his perspective and mindset off the ice and how he's still been able to be around the team and helped him out in any way he can as he continues on striving to get back on the ice. So here is 5th-round pick of the Washington Capitals and Guelph Storm defenseman Cam Allen. pleased to be back on OHL Overtime with Guelph Storm defenseman Cam Allen and fifth-round pick of the Washington Capitals in this past NHL Draft. Cam, thanks a lot for taking the time to do this. I know it's been you're in the recovery process right now from your surgery, but before we get going, just how has that process been, and how are you doing in recovery right now?
Yeah, thanks. It's been good so far. I mean, the bulk of it seems to be out of the way, which is, allows me to be pretty positive about all of it. But it's all gone according to plan and better. So, yeah, things are going well and getting pretty optimistic about being back pretty soon. So, yeah, can't complain. Things are going as well as they can for sure.
Spoke to your assistant coach Daniel Fitzgerald this past weekend, and he said that you're around the team all the time, and it's basically like having another, player coach out there. So when you've kind of had to adjust to a different role, what's something that you've maybe tried to embrace, or maybe something that you've learned about the game now that you're kind of watching from a different lens, up higher overhead?
Yeah, I think the past few months, it's really, given me a new perspective on the game, almost watching so many games. And I try to watch as much as I can, other games around the league, NHL games as well. So I don't know if there's anything in particular that I can name, but I think it just, gives you a little bit better sense of the game, and you're aware of what happens in different situations and things that happen often. And, it becomes pretty noticeable how big those little battles are within the game too. And I feel like I'm noticing that type of stuff a lot more. So I think it's just picking up on the little things that when you're focused on how you're playing in your own game and production and all that, sometimes that can slip your mind. So yeah, a lot of valuable things that I've seen and I've learned in the past few months.
Now that you've had a lot of time to kind of sit back and reflect, just how cool of a moment was that for you? Obviously, getting to put on an NHL jersey and being a draft pick of the Washington Capitals. Your teammate Jake Carabella is also a fifth rounder from Washington the year prior. So, what's maybe something that he's told you about the Washington organization, and just how excited you are to hopefully make that jump to pro hockey sooner rather than later?
Yeah, it's awesome having a teammate there. Jake's a great guy and a good guy to have there year before I got drafted. So he gave me a heads up on what was to come, and it's a lot easier when you know someone at camp and all that. So it's pretty cool to be there with them. But I think it was an awesome experience in the summer, and a lot of ups and downs last year. But it was nice to get drafted and have that out of the way and just be able to focus on what I need to do. And I think it's given me a lot of motivation too, and doesn't let me overthink a lot of things now. Like, I'm part of the Washington Capitals and I couldn't be happier. So it's just, like you said, trying to make that step as soon as I can. And, it's a process, but one that, I'm willing to take part in. And I guess there's not much of a rush, but, I want to get there. So I'm doing everything I can. So yeah, I think it's just a big motivator and something I'm thrilled about.
And you were the captain of the U18 Gretzky-Holinka Cup. Obviously, you're a natural-born leader. A defenseman that's kind of had to fill your shoes, I guess, while you've been out is Michael Buchinger. How much have you kind of had to, or have you really had to do a lot of coaching with him, or just talk about his development as a defenseman and obviously taking that role as the power play quarterback while you've been out of the lineup, and how do you think that he's really growing into a solid role, and look forward to playing with him when you get back?
Yeah, being around a guy like Butch, it's awesome. He's always wanting to learn, always trying to get better. So not a guy that I'm gonna go and tell him what to do, but someone that it's great to have conversations with. And every time we talk about hockey and different things we see within the game and share our perspectives, I feel like it makes me a better player. And I think sometimes it can give him a little bit of a different perspective as well. So it's tough. He's had a lot on his shoulders. He's played a lot of minutes every night, but it's pretty incredible to watch, and a guy that I watch every single night really closely, just because there's so many things I can learn from him and a lot of stuff in his game that I want to add into mine, and I'm sure vice versa as well. So it's great having a guy like him around, and I hope he learns as much from me as I do from him, because it's been great the past few years, and I just I can't wait to get back to playing and having him as my partner again.
While you've been out of the lineup, and obviously the coaching staff's done a good job just as far as keeping you guys afloat right now. You look forward to coming back in the new year. Not getting Matt Poitras back from the Boston Bruins, obviously a big loss, but some of those other players like Jett Luchanko that we'll be talking to later in the episode have really stepped up this year as well, in his absence. So, without yourself and a guy like Poitras in the lineup, how do you think the team's kind of rallied around that and everybody's kind of had the next man up mentality and kept you guys, with positive results for now?
Yeah, I think it was obviously disappointing when we found out that Poitras wasn't coming back, and we're all so happy for him. But it's a guy that you can't replace. Doesn't matter who you trade for in the league. He's an irreplaceable guy and a guy that we miss around the room. But we can't sit here waiting for him to come back. We've got to play our game, and it gives a lot of young guys a chance to step up and take those minutes. And I think they've done that really well. And there's a lot of maturing to do in our room as well. We have a lot of young guys, but they've been incredible and. They've held their own for sure and have contributed to a lot of our success. But like any young team, there may be inconsistencies. We'll have our ups and downs, but I think it's just sticking with it and making sure that we're consistently getting better and, playing great hockey in the next couple months. And it's just a process. It's great to win games in November, but I'd be rather going, some heaters in March and when we get close to playoffs. So I think it's just working towards that point and getting better every day and, believing in the group that we have. And I think all of us do, which is great for our culture and just, having each other's back. So when I come back, hopefully I can contribute to that system as well. But, I think the guys have done a good job of not waiting around for me and praying that Potsy comes back. It's more just, who's going to step up here and who's going to take the lead and lead each other. And everyone in that room's a leader. So, I'm proud of the guys for doing it. And I think we'll continue to do so.
And we're going to talk to Jett Luchanko a little bit later in the episode. Can you just talk about his development this year as far as taking that next step, leading you guys in points, it being his draft year? You knew what that was like going into your NHL draft year and how much pressure you probably put on yourself. Just how have you guys letting him know just what to expect going into this draft year and what do you think's made him so successful already in this young season for the Guelph Storm?
Yeah, I mean, he's always had the smarts and the IQ, and that was noticeable right from the start of last year. But coming into this season, I've never seen someone come back in so much more muscular, and he's put on so much weight and he's jacked. So it was so impressive seeing him come back and just turn into a man, and that speaks to the work that he did in the summer. And he's kind of put it all together, and he's been incredible for us. And a guy that we needed to take that step, and he's definitely filled those shoes and lived up to it. So he's put himself in a great position so far. But his personality is kind of perfect for the whole draft system and the build up to it. He's a calm guy, and he knows what he's good at. He plays to his strengths. Like I said, his smarts are off the charts. So there's not too much advice we need to give him. It seems like he's holding his head high and staying positive and not taking it it's not too stressful for him basically. So I think it's just for him, maybe he's a little too shy for the interview process. We would give him some tips, but we'll get in his ear about that. But he'll be fine. He's an incredible kid, and his work ethic is great. And like I said, when he come back after the summer looking like that, it speaks to the team that he's ready to come and perform, and he's done that.
And lastly for you, Cam, as you look obviously towards the new year because you'll be back in the lineup, what is Chad Wiseman and the rest of the coaching staff really expected from you, and what are they kind of hoping that when you do return to the lineup what kind of impact you'll have, and just looking forward to your return to the lineup, and hopefully for a deep playoff run with the Guelph Storm, you'll be fresher than everybody else in the lineup. So I'm sure they'll welcome you back with open arms.
Yeah, it'll be a process when I'm coming back and getting back into more practices and stuff. So there'll be a lot of work done there when it comes to fitting into the systems and what role I'm going to play with the team. But I'm obviously expecting to take a big step from last year, and so that's where I'm holding myself, and I know they're trusting me to do that as well. So, I mean, they're not going to be sitting there putting too much pressure on me, but it's I know what I have to do, and I've worked with them, and only heard great things from them, and they've been really helpful with the whole process. It's not easy mentally, going through all surgery and rehab, especially when you get it done right before the season. But they've been great with me and just letting me know better days are coming, and I'll be there to help the team in the next couple months. So it's always good to hear from them, and work with them as well, and finding ways to get better away from the game is so important when you're going through this process.
Guelph Storm defenseman and Washington Capitals 5th round pick in this past year's NHL Draft, Cam Allen. Cam, thanks so much for taking the time during your recovery process and for the great insight about your team. We look forward to seeing what happens when you return to the lineup. Guelph Storm, obviously want to make a deep playoff run this year, and maybe look forward to seeing you in a Washington Capitals jersey in the near future with the Grade 8. So thanks a lot for doing this, and best of luck.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. Take care.
In the Niagara region, Global Pet Foods is your destination for premium pet nutrition and caring expertise. Whether you've welcomed a new furry family member or need advice on top quality nutrition, their dedicated staff is ready to help. Discover why Global Pet Foods' lesser-known premium brands outshine the big corporate names. Their team's passion ensures your pet's health and vitality. Check out one of their locations today: 3643 Portage Road in Niagara Falls, 160 Highway 20 in Font Hill, or 400 Scott Street and 344 Glendale Avenue in St. Catharines. Global Pet Foods, where premium brands and caring staff make the difference. Wild Bill's Auto Repair is your local center for auto maintenance and repair in the Niagara region. Since 2012, Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop has been helping customers stay safe and confident on the road, knowing their vehicles in top running condition through their services. Located at 7868 Oakwood Drive in Niagara Falls, the garage started as a tribute to the owner's father, William Robert Hunter, who passed away, continuing the same community spirit and high level of service which customers came to expect from him back at Hunter's Auto Repair. Their multi-award-winning auto shop has earned the trust of the Niagara community with its fair treatment of all customers, who can feel confident they'll get the trustworthy advice and repairs during their visit. Their experienced crew loves meeting new people and looks forward to forming a lasting partnership for the care of your cars. To find out more or to book a service, contact them today, 905-358-7868 or wildbillsauto.ca. Wild Bill's Auto Repair, helping customers stay safe and confident on the road since 2012. Since 1999, Niagara Denture Clinic has been helping thousands of patients achieve natural-looking smiles with the confidence to show them off. Sean Battelle and his wife Anne, both licensed denturists, bring a wealth of skill and experience to the warm and friendly atmosphere to their Niagara Falls location at 5501 Drummond Road. And their on-site Niagara Hearing Clinic offers free hearing tests and a variety of services to fit your needs. This family-run practice takes pride in providing superior care and service to their patients, along with the best premium products available on the market. Get the best work done at a more reasonable price. Niagara Dental Clinic is here to help. Protect your teeth with a mouth guard, replace missing teeth, and get better hold with your dental implants. Call them today for a free consultation at 905-353-1552 or check them out online at niagaradentureclinic.com. Niagara Denture Clinic, creating natural smiles in the Niagara region for 25 years.
You're listening to the Armchair GM Sports Network, the Niagara region's best local source for North American sports podcasting coverage. By sports fans, for sports fans.
Great insight there from Cam Allen. Great person to talk to. Very easy to talk about his own team. Really a selfless player and highlighted some of those players, especially Jett Luchanko, who we're going to get into, called him, said he's jacked. So we'll see how Jett kind of reacts to that. So we'll take you to our last feature interview today, and that will be with Jett Luchanko, currently second place Guelph Storm for team scoring. It's taken a big step from his first year to his second year, a former first-round pick himself by the Guelph Storm back in 2022, 12th overall. So he's taken a big leap and continues to build off on and off the ice in his NHL draft year. So we'll get to Jett Luchanko here about his mindset so far in this OHL season. Back on OHL Overtime with Guelph Storm forward Jett Luchanko. Jett, we talked to your teammate Cam Allen earlier in the episode. He talked about, obviously, he's not on the ice right now, but he's still around the team a lot. So can you just talk about a little bit about his presence around the team still, even though he's going to be out until the new year, but what he's brought to your team as kind of a player coach?
Yeah, it sucks to have him out right now. He's we know what he can do on the ice, but it's at the same time, it's nice to see him around the room, always smiling, always, making jokes and keeping everything light. So it's nice he's been back on skates lately. So it's nice to see him back in the equipment. Kind of weird, but it's really nice to have him around, keeping the energy up.
And your assistant coach, Daniel Fitzgerald, he raved about you in the preseason, and you're making him look good. So far this year, obviously, you've got to be pleased with the jump that you've made from your rookie year to your second year. What do you think is the biggest thing that's been different in your game from last year to your second year, and obviously your NHL draft year?
Yeah, I think over the summer, I just, I put on a lot of weight. Last year, I kind of got thrown around a little bit, so I had to learn from that. And, I put on some weight, tried to play a little bit bigger, and I've been playing with a lot of great guys. Our team's had a lot of success too. So, that obviously translates to personal success.
And you don't obviously have Matt Poitras staying up with the Boston Bruins. Obviously, you guys are happy for him, but at the same time, you have to move forward as a team and as a group. Just talk about not just you specifically, but maybe, the whole team kind of stepping up in his absence and taking on the bigger roles on the team and still making sure that you guys are going to be a competing team this year without a guy like that in the lineup.
Yeah, it sucks to see him go. He's so great for us last year, but we're happy for him, but it's impossible for one guy to replace him. We all kind of have to step up and do our jobs, and I think so far we've done a lot of good job of that, and some of the young guys taking a step up, so it's been nice.
Your head coach, Chad Wiseman, just talk about what he's been expecting of you, and obviously right now at the time recording this, you're second on the team in points, and you're really taking a big step. So what are they looking for you to continue to work on here as you go into the second half of the year, and obviously you'll get Cam Allen back, what they've been expecting of you, and you're kind of trying to work on yourself as well?
Yeah, I'm just trying to be available to the coaches for kind of all the situations I can be in. If I can be positive, on the ice in any way, or even on the bench, just any way I can, and hopefully that's what they're looking for me too.
Talk about what type of player you want to be at the next level, obviously, as you want to take that jump to pro hockey one day, but maybe what's one player that you've kind of tried to mold your game after, or that you're trying to build into as you want to make that transition not only to your OHL career but maybe a pro career one day?
Yeah, there's a lot of good guys that I like to watch in the NHL and model my game after. One would be Dylan Larkin. I think he's a player that the Red Wings rely on in all situations, and he can win faceoffs, he can play defensively on the kill, power play, all that. That's kind of what I try to be like as much as I can, just try and be an option for the coaches to call my name at any time.
As you've kind of transitioned here into your second year, you know what it's like to go into those dog days of, January, February. You guys are grinding, trying to get to the playoffs, and really, the schedule gets heavier in the second half of the year. So how do you feel just in the mindset as far as keeping yourself fresh, but also, you put a lot of pressure on yourself to begin with, but as the season goes on and you guys want to get to that playoff run, just what do you try to do off the ice, or just try to get away from the game of hockey to make sure that you keep yourself fresh and ready to go for all 68 games?
Yeah, it definitely becomes a grind. And one thing that I think is big is you got to love the grind. You got to love to get better every day and challenge yourself to get better and go through all those kinds of things. You can't really just, walk your way through it. You got to really bear down and, work on your body, work on everything, work on your mind. And some things I like to do, like just be, hanging out with friends. Right now it's football season, so always into like fantasy football, and watching football on Sundays is huge for me.
Your assistant coach, Daniel Fitzgerald, obviously came over this year. What has he brought to the team other than his hair that always seems to remain in place no matter where he's at or what time of day? But, what has he brought to the group and an assistant coach, and really he raved about you. So what's that relationship been like with him?
Yeah, he's been a great addition for us. And right now, I'm not sure if we do have the number one kill in the league right now, but I know we're somewhere up there, and he's been a big part in that run and all that. So it's been really nice to have him leading the forwards and seeing him every day. He's been great for us. For
those of us that aren't really around the Guelph Storm a whole lot, you're in the room. What's maybe a player or two that's really caught your eye that you think is going to take a big jump, not only to the future, but maybe even in the second half of the year, and that's really progressed and really taken a big step for you guys on and off the ice?
Yeah, I mean, a couple young guys that I think will, come and get better here is Will McFadden, Parker Snellgrove. I think, Parker Snellgrove he's hurt right now, but I think right now they're just finding the stride. And once they get going, I think they're really going to take off. They're great players, and, they're really good hands, really smart players. And I think they're just getting into it. And once they get going, I think they're going to take a big leap.
And lastly for you, you've got some players and teammates that have been drafted into the NHL. 5 of your teammates are already drafted. So, do you lean on those guys maybe in your draft year because they've been through that before to kind of know what to expect as you continue on with the season and as you get to next June when the draft's coming up, to have those guys in the leadership group really helped you in that regard, kind of, navigate through your NHL draft year and kind of making sure that you're kind of staying in the moment here and worrying about what the Guelph Storm have to offer?
Yeah, I've talked to them a bit, but for me right now, like all I'm focused on is just, going out there playing my best hockey, being the best teammate I can every day. And I think if I do that, good things will come, and just trying to focus on winning hockey games right now.
Jett Luchanko, second-year forward for the Guelph Storm. Jett, thanks so much for taking some time to talk to us about the Guelph Storm, your teammates, and best of luck to you in your draft year and moving forward. You exciting player to watch, and we look forward to your future.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you to all three of our guests today, Assistant Coach Daniel Fitzgerald, Jett Luchanko, and Cam Allen from the Guelph Storm, showcasing the Storm squad this year. As the title says, Storm Watch. The Guelph Storm are definitely a team to watch in the Western Conference and will definitely have a say in the playoffs when that time does come, and they'll be a hard team to get by and always a hard team to play there at home. Hope you guys enjoyed another installment of OHL Overtime, show highlighting another Ontario Hockey League team. Again, continue to do this as much as the teams are cooperative with this, so thank you very much to the Guelph Storm and their staff for being able to make this happen and getting us some guests from their team as well. So until next time, my name is Brandon Caputo. You can follow me on X at bcaputo_AGM. You can follow the podcast on X at Armchair GM Pod as well. You can like us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're on all the social media stuff if you guys enjoy all that content. And as well, thank you to those listening today in on-demand audio, and for those watching today on the YouTube side of things. Make sure that like, hit subscribe, and smash that bell for all updates on video versions of our podcast. So until next time, this is another edition of OHL Overtime right here on the Armchair GM Sports Network, proudly brought to you by Wild Bill's Auto Repair, and we'll talk to you again very soon. You're listening to the Armchair GM Sports Network.